Odds Deprogram, the podcast where we try to get you into a band. That's right. We've done all the work for you. All you have to do is push play. And Randy, I just want to thank you for letting me see myself. Today we're talking about Turnstile. And you put them on the board. You put Turnstile on the board, which when I went to go look at the order, I was actually kind of shocked. This struck me as a John first band, but you put them on the board first, and I don't recall when. I don't know if this was just a sweep, but talk to me about Turnstile and why you wanted to talk about Turnstile.
Well, I think it is more of a John band than it is a my band. I don't know why I'm first on it, but I think it was due to both of us kind of saying at the same time that we wanted to cover them.
Yeah.
I think John knew them a little more. I knew them, and it's more of a knew of them, but I knew a couple songs, and I kind of understood like where the last couple years have taken them as a band and that they were getting really, really popular. But I don't think I quite knew their whole entire discog. And it was one of those things like, well, you young whippersnappers like them, so I might as well see what the youngins like and the Utes. So yeah, I knew very little about them coming into this, actually. Like, should I be number one? Probably not, but it doesn't matter. But what I got out of it in listening to this is that, like, the way that we know punk and hardcore from, the heyday in the 80s to trickling down to the 90s and 2000s and sort of what it turned into with emo core and everything like that. And it's just another evolution stage that, there's this long period of time. I can't pinpoint as to where it started or who started it. It could be some bands that maybe we don't even know. John might have a better knowledge of information of that than I do. But the idea that basically Turnstile is considered to be in the family of punk, but it's also taking influences from all different types of music. I mean, count on both hands how many bands that I heard within them, from hearing a little Zach De La Rocha in the lead singer's voice. And at times when it came to Glow On, I heard some Perry Farrell in his voice too, which I was very surprised at that kind of evolution. Weirdly, and I might get some flack by saying this, but I heard some 311 in there.
1,000, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I really thought I was going to be crazy by saying that, but I mean, it's the good parts of 311, and look, I haven't listened to them in like 15, 20 years, whatever, but it's not the rapping bits and things like that. I always thought that Nick Hex, if it was just his band, then it could have gone somewhere different, and it could have been something that maybe I'm still listening to nowadays. I've always kind of seen it now as being, I don't know, a little immature, but that's besides the point. You hear a lot of that kind of guitar tone. I've always considered a lot of 311's riffs that, like, I don't know if it's monotone, but it's like if you're playing guitar riffs on a keyboard and just by playing one key, you would kind of get what that sounds like. And they have a little bit of that, which I don't want to put off as a bad thing at all. They make it work. They make it work really well. And you see, like, a lot of riffs that remind me of Helmet, a lot of stuff that reminds me of Metallica.
Yeah.
And it's all sort of blending in. And what's weird is that I never thought about this and thought of, like, okay, I thought of one punk band, Refused. That was the one band that I thought, okay, like, they're taking a lot of what they did in the Shape of Punk to Come and all that stuff and turning it into more of this infused punk style. I saw a lot of, there was a band called Snapcase. They weren't around for very long, but I heard a lot of their lead singer in his voice. And I think it's just an interesting amalgamation of what you can do with all different sort of influences and turn it into something that maybe those influences aren't necessarily trending towards. And I was really impressed by that. I enjoyed this listen. And once we get into the way that the songs sort of evened out and listening to that, I'll kind of get into it a little bit further. But yeah, it was really interesting listening and figuring out this develop as we go.
So, John, both Randy and I have said that we assumed that this was a John band. How correct are we?
Yeah, I mean, they are a hardcore band, and that's something that I still follow and still am into. And it's very interesting because they are kind of the current hype hardcore band that's like bringing to Gen Z or whoever this current, younger generation is. The kids today, everybody, kids love Turnstile, like, and I remember hearing about them, as they were coming up over the last few years, and like it was kind of like, oh, they're okay, but you didn't hear them in the kind of like glowing terms that you hear of them now, no pun intended. But it was more like I won't say lame, but it was kind of like they're just not there yet. They're young. They're unproven. They haven't found their sound yet. And I think when they really came into their own, they started to really become an incredible live band, and I think that was really what kind of broke them and like going on tour with Blink-182 this year. I think their Glow On was nominated for some Grammy Awards or
Yep,
something
3 of
crazy
them.
like that for a hardcore band. Like
Yeah.
that's unheard of. But they, Randy, you mentioned a couple of bands that I had wrote down for sure, like Helmet, early Helmet, absolutely. And they've kind of synthesized this hardcore sound meets this kind of 90s alternative. You mentioned Rage Against the Machine. There's Beastie Boys in there. Um, 311 for sure, even though I hate 311. But that kind of mixing that alternative, that kind of throwback 90s sound, which has kind of had a little bit of a resurgence in the last couple of years, with an early 80s hardcore sound. And they're using like R&B and like 80s stuff then from that sense of throwing it in. And the Refused comparison is good because Refused did that 25 years ago, throwing in jazz and hip hop and all other things into this hardcore blender and seeing what came out. And Refused was similar early on too, is that their early stuff was a little more formulaic and they hadn't quite found that sound yet. If you listen to the earlier Refused, they hadn't quite hit on it yet, but on the Shape of Punk to Come they did, and it was on and onwards and upwards from there. And Turnstile's one, I always like doing, still kind of on the way up. We talked about that with Free Throw a couple of years ago. Like here's a band that we're talking about, their story's not written yet. There's still gonna be more to talk about in the future. So we're hitting Turnstile at a good point here where they've broken kind of in the last year or two, and we get a chance to kind of to dig into what they've done so far, and then it'll be really interesting to see where they go from here. But yeah, I mean, maybe the most popular hardcore band of all time as far as mainstream success. Like you can maybe say that about Turnstile, which is crazy.
Indeed. You guys have both hit on some things that were very surface level for me, because when this got put on the board, I didn't know the name at all. And John, you brought up them opening up for Blink-182 this year. I've seen Blink twice this year, which means I've seen Turnstile twice. And it's very rare that I come away super duper impressed with an opening act. And Turnstile blew me away both times I saw them. I fell in love immediately and hard when I saw them. And it's not, sometimes it's because you see somebody opening up for one of your favorite bands. It was completely on their own merit, completely on their show. I couldn't believe how good I perceived these kids to be. Like I perceived them as kids, and we're seeing them in hockey arenas, and they're like, what they're playing seems like it shouldn't fit there, but they filled those arenas no problem, and they played to the entire arena both times I saw them. Very, very impressive. And then I went and listened to the music, and I got, again with them live, like I got that Perry Farrell thing. Like I definitely had, there's little bits of Jane's Addiction here and there, mostly Perry. The way Brendan performs reminds me a lot of Scott Weiland. Like when you watch him, like he's all around the stage, he's very energetic. I I definitely got some Bad Brains in there. And then again, like it's wild to compare this band that I love now to 311, but it's there. Like there's a lot going on with Turnstile, and I'm so happy to be covering them because, as you mentioned, John, they're still on the way up. And as much as they may be popular right now, I still feel like I'm happy to spread that to even more people. So that said, like there's I think it was 3 records and like a couple EPs. So this wasn't like some massive overtaking. It's like 2 hours worth of music, which is awesome. But I mean, it's an awesome 2 hours too. So like as you're going through this, Randy, like what are you looking at to pluck together for your 20? Like how are you approaching that?
This was a tough approach. Yeah, I had to go in this a little bit kind of with just open ears and understanding that I had very, very little. I knew Come Back for More and I knew Blackout. Like those were the 2 songs that I knew, and that was it. And it was kind of like, remember when we did the No Use for a Name episode, you and Joe both said like, okay, we got to listen to one album at a time because that's what we can handle at this point.
Yeah.
And I was kind of the same way with this because I realized after our first listen that I was just trying to get the 2 hours or so into me and sort of ingest it. And then I realized I'm like, I can't, like, I kind of need to separate it a little bit and kind of give these songs the attention they deserve, or else it becomes one of these things where I'm listening to the beginning and the first stuff. I'm like, okay, that sounds good. That sounds good. And then you listen to it later. You're like, oh, well, that kind of sounded a little bit like what I was listening to in the beginning, so I'm not going to pay attention to that as much. I really need to separate things a little more. And you can tell when that change comes in. I don't know. Outside of Glow On, I don't know these albums' names, but the Yellow album is supposed. Like, you can tell that there was a little bit of a change in sound, that they went from, you mentioned Brandon as one of the vocals, but like the more kind of toned down vocal. I don't know who that is. Is that's somebody else in the band? That could be. I have a good discussion for after the fact that's related to that, but I know that there's a second vocalist in here that is giving you more of like a more melodic, harmonic way of what they do. But I focused on that a lot, and that kind of because it felt a little bit different weaving in within sort of the high energy, the high electric scream and everything like that, that it started to stand out. And at first I was like, is this not who this band is? And then plucking a couple of these songs out, I'm like, oh yeah, no, this is who this band is. It might not be what you recognize of them from the jump, but it's part of who they are. And there was actually a song that I'm sure we'll get to at some point that I had completely eliminated from my list, that I had it on my first pass, then I cut it, and then I happened to stumble across it again. I'm like, wait a minute, I only cut this because I just didn't think it sounded like the rest of Turnstile, but it's still Turnstile, and it's still very good, and I don't know what I was doing, because a lot of, again, what I was picking was based off of memory. Mm-hmm. And, we did the research like a month ago. What was the start of the research, and then I had a couple weeks. I got COVID. I went to some concerts, so I took a couple weeks and got away from it. But the last week or so, I dug back in, and really the ones that stuck out to me were the ones that I had that muscle memory, remembering these songs, and those kind of stayed around and stayed on my list. So I think it's interesting that John brought up the, sort of where they break out with Glow On. And I think that I didn't give any big attention to one record. I think I evened them out pretty well. So, especially EPs too. So I'm interested to see like how much weight is put on the beginning of their career as opposed to what's relevant and recent.
Which leads us to asking John the question, because you mentioned that this is a band on the up. So like, to Randy's point, did you focus on the beginning, or how did you approach your list?
Yeah, it was. I mean, it would be easy to pick, to start with Glow On and then fill in everything else from there. Because there are people that are gonna see this episode and listen to this and be like, well, if they don't pick everything from Glow On, they're idiots. Because that's obviously the best one. But what I tried to do was really um, kind of go back and see what were the songs from the first couple of records and before that led into where they would be on Glow On. Like where were the hints of come? Like what were the songs that were like, oh, here's this coming together, here's that coming together, because you know I did say, I don't think they were fully formed early on. I don't think they were quite reaching their potential yet, and maybe they haven't.
Yeah.
Maybe the next one is gonna blow us all away again. But yeah, it was just a matter of going through those early ones and finding, like, having listened to, going back and finding, okay, how did they get here? What were the stepping stones that took them from point A to point B to where they are now? So it was just a matter of finding those, and because I think those are going to be important, when you talk about when you go back and talk about the history of Turnstile, the short history we have now.
I actually approached it very similarly because as I mentioned, when I put the panel together, like I had already been listening to Glow On like a lot. And so like between seeing them live, there's some here that made my list because of the live performance. And the songs translate well. And then there was like one that I dumped out that's going to hurt if one of you guys has, cause I love it, but like, I like it live better than I liked it on the album. So, that'll come into play, but then I didn't want to overload Glow On just because I knew it. I went back and I'm like, okay, no, I think it's important that we show, like you said, John, how did we get here? So I ended up relatively even. Like I it's at least within reason. It's not, nothing's overloaded. I think one of them, maybe Time and Space, got 5, but like for the most part, everything is in that. I think a couple of the EPs got 2, but like everything else was in that 3 to 5 range. So it is relatively even, which brings me to I mean, this could go any way. Like, I mean, there's not a lot here, and there's only 3 of us. But Randy, what do you think for the final say? How many do you think we're going to get through unanimously?
Well, I just wanted to test the waters because I saw a bunch of your comments. A couple of people commented on your "What do you think are essential tracks for Turnstile" post. One of them was from Joe. It seemed like he was disappointed that he couldn't make the episode or didn't get invited to it. Which, sorry, Joe.
Yeah,
should have invited you. But he put together what looked like a full list of 20 to me, and I'm looking at those and I'm putting myself up against those. I'm like, I have a lot of them, but then there's some of them that like made the pass, but didn't get past that certain point. And now I'm looking at what they say the top 5 songs are on Spotify, and I guess it's tough to say because they just had like a single released for songs that are already like, what's this? Turnstile, Bad, Not Good. Like, is that another band that they're working with here?
Yeah, I think that's like a crossover thing.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Because 2 of the songs that I know that are both on Glow On Spotify top 5 also are from that new EP, I guess, which means that there's a song off of both those records that gets doubled up here. But there's like 1 or 2 songs from Glow On that I really like, that I know that a lot of people had mentioned in their comments, and I'm just like, I don't know if I really picked up on that the way that they picked up on it, and it like puts a little bit of fear in me. But I think whenever there is a good band, the absolute like basis of where you can go with this, and I honestly I'm gonna go lower than maybe it's gonna be, but like I don't think we get less than 5, so I'm going with 5.
All right. That seems about right. What do you think, John?
6.
I like it. I like it. It does feel like that. It does. This feels like we should have a lot, right? It feels like.
Seems that way.
But I'm always hesitant because, you know, we could just hide in different corners and not have enough crossover. So, and I'm worried I may have let live influence a couple of my choices a little too hard. So,
I did cheat a little bit, and I did look at a set list or two and because of that, I kind of changed. I wanted to listen to some of those songs a little bit more and kind of get like, okay, why do they play them live? Because I'm not, you know, maybe I didn't think of them as being the highlighted live track. So I there might be like 1 or 2 songs I switched because of that.
Okay. Well, then that gives me confidence that your 5 is right. 7 feels doable, and it almost feels like precise. But I'm gonna go the other way. I hate this. I'm gonna go 4. I don't like it, but I'm gonna go 4 because 7 just feels like too much of a risk, gents. All right, so we're gonna take a quick pause, and when we come back, we're gonna play the game. It's deprogrammed. And with that, the name of the game is Deprogrammed. The 3 of us have combed through the Turnstile discography, easy enough for me to say, and plucked out 20 songs that we're now going to mash together in an attempt to create a top 10 starter kit for you in case you have yet to listen to Turnstile. And we will correct that immediately. And look, I'm going with a live track here because it bangs, because after we saw them in DC, we listened to this song a couple times on the way home. After we saw them in Charlotte, we listened to this a couple times on the way home. My son loves this song. It's probably my favorite by them. They closed the show with it. I'm going with Holiday.
That was a late ad.
Hey.
That was a no for me.
Oh, okay. All right. At least it's not a complete whiffer. I'll take the 2. But that song rips live. Like I said, they close the show with it, and it just rips.
That might be the best example of going and looking at that set list and listening to it all over again and trying to get it. Because I don't think I was totally on board until I did that.
It's also crazy because I don't think that the recording does the live justice. But the song is good enough that, like I said, I still had it. It is probably one of my favorites by them.
So. Yeah, that's just a function of can't have everything off a glow on for me.
Fair. All right, Randy?
I'm gonna start off with the one that kind of a couple of years ago heard it for the first time. I think it was like one of the NXT songs for a pay-per-view or something like that, and I noticed it, and then I noticed like 1 or 2 other people talking about them that I trust in their music senses, and it was like the first one that I kind of knew that, okay, this was going to make the list no matter what. So, it's Come Back for More.
Yeah, I got it.
Yep.
Hey, there we
Cool.
go.
It's in.
There we go. Let me switch over to Spotify. Come Back for More. There it is. Oh, come on. Why would you disconnect from my computer, you jerk? There we go.
Justin, sometimes I think that this is just one of your ribs or something like that, that every time before going into an episode you're playing the first song. You're doing a bit.
I would never do a bit. I would never do a bit. Well,
I think this is your last bit.
I have it connected, and usually I try to check it like as we're doing that first part of the episode, and I didn't this time. So
I don't know, Justin. You've done this a long time. Sounds like a bit to me.
I would never do a bit. How dare you? All right, we got one. All right, John?
TLC, Turnstile, Love Connection.
Of course, absolutely.
Yep.
I need a little TLC. I need some. This song rips. Again, this was one I couldn't get out of.
Yeah. They put out like a long form video for it. I think it was the first thing I heard off of Glow On. It was like, what happened to this band? Like, what is this? And it was like, oh, okay, they're onto something now.
Also, it can't be overstated. I want to thank you for letting me be myself. I want to thank you for letting me see myself. That's a great line. And I think that connects with a lot of people. It's got the energy you're looking for. And then, of course, it's just a little TLC. That's all you need. Turnstile, Love Connection. Love it. It just rocks. And then this. Boom, boom, boom. It's like somewhere in the middle of the set. It rules. It rips. All right. Back to me, huh? Oh. All right. So my one in TLC was my number 2, just for the record.
My number 1.
I didn't have a number, so it's on the list.
How dare you?
I only rank the first couple.
Yeah, same. I usually the first like 5-ish. All right, I'll go with 3 here. This one might be a reach, but I had a lot of people. It was on my list, and a lot of people said it's on there. So how about Moon?
Yes, actually, yes. I love that song.
No, interestingly enough.
All right. 2.
Justin, that's the song that I mentioned before that I had dropped because I thought it sounded nothing like them. And then when it came back to me and I just listened to it, I got so captivated by the vocals in this that sounded tremendous. I'm like, I just like this song. I don't give a fuck if it sounds like Turnstile or something else or sounds 2-3-11. Like, I like this song. It's going on my fucking list, and I'll fight for it later if I have to.
Yeah, it made my list, but it shot up the list when I saw that other people were saying it belongs there. It's like, okay, so I'm not out of my mind. So
yeah, that kind of vindicated my feeling for it for sure.
All right, Randy.
I'm gonna play another song off Glow On because we were out for lunch yesterday for our anniversary, and this came on, and immediately from the little beginning, that I was like, oh yeah, I know exactly what this is because I've been listening to it about 6 times a day. So my wife was then like, oh, Turnstile can't be that big, right? I'm like, I do the Google search. I'm like, okay, here's how big they are. Again, went through and saw the Grammy nominations, everything like that. And I don't know if I proved anything, but I do really like the song Mystery.
Yeah, man. I got it.
Yep.
Yes.
I figured that would be an easy one.
I was actually worried that you guys might not have that one, but this one is another one where I couldn't figure out, am I just putting too much on the live show? They open with this. And
makes sense.
Oh my God, does it kick off the show so well? Again, it's the perfect energy. It's lyrics. Also, they use a Madonna clip at the end of it. And they did in Charlotte. I think it was something else in DC. Music makes the people. It's just dumb, but awesome. And yeah, mystery rips. I love it.
That's another very Perry Farrell inspired.
Yes, 1,000%. Yep.
Just those vocals soaring. I get why it's a great live song.
All right, John.
All right, I have plenty more from Glow On, but I'm going to stay away from that now. Let's go back a little bit. How about Blue by You?
Of course, I love that one.
Same. Yeah, I got it.
Yes. All right, that 4 right there.
4 already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we soar past it. It would be awesome to have another one where we have to make some cuts.
Yeah. I'm all nervous about my other Glow On picks and me feeling that I might have shortchanged the record, which I kind of thought I was doing anyway, but we'll see.
Well, hopefully you guys have a lot of Glow On because I only have 1 left.
I only have 2.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
That is a testament to how much else I like, though. That's
Yeah. All right, so we're back to me. So my top four are already gone plus one. All right. I guess I'll just do my number 5 here, and then we'll play wherever else. How about Big Smile?
Yes, I have it.
Yes.
Oh,
We're on a roll, fellas.
Big Smile rules.
I don't think we're stopping at 5 right here, and I think we're going shooting past 6.
Folks, just so you know, Turnstile rules. I don't know what else to say. Turnstile rules.
They live up to the hype. Like a lot of bands that have this kind of hype can't follow through, but I feel like they pay their dues, and like I'm interested to see where they go from here. Like I said before, I feel like they're going to be onto something.
Absolutely, because
live, especially if you can pull it off live, then you got something,
dude. I was emotional because I'm there for a big Blink-182 reunion, right? And theoretically, I'm tuning out anything and everything that's not Blink. The fact that they were able to impress me so much should not be lost on people. Like, it really shouldn't. I know I'm just a dude, but like, I was there to see Blink, and not only did I come away loving Turnstile, but I came away impressed by Turnstile, which is two different things. Like, they made an impression in a giant arena. So good for them. They're on to something.
Well, I will say for the people who are listening, I still have 7 from Glow On. So for my Glow On people, I got your back.
I'm happy because like I love Glow On, and I could probably make a case for almost every song on Glow On just for the fact I just
wanted to let people know we're not done talking about it.
All right, so let's see. Big Smile was me. So Randy, you're up.
I feel good about my next 2 Glow On, but I'm going to stay away from it for a little while because I really feel like I evened out the records nicely. I'm going to go with Phased Out here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. 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 YES, which means we get to play more Turnstile on the show for good reasons.
I'm 3 for 3 with my picks getting into the top 10. John, you could be too.
Yep.
Maybe that's a deeper program first. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. I think this is probably like the best first 3 rounds. You know, we'll see how John does.
Trash it.
Yeah.
Knock on whatever you want to knock on.
All right, John. No pressure.
All right. New Heart Design.
No.
No, unfortunately.
Boo.
Yeah, we were. That was bound to happen.
We were flying too close to the sun. All right. Well, where do I go from here? Oh, wait, I forgot to mark that one off. 2, 3. Shoot. All the ones like I really, really, really wanted are already in. How about Keep It Moving?
Yep, I have that.
Nope.
Okay. That's where we slow down. Normally I'm a track 1, album 1 guy, right? But technically 7 rolls into Keep It Moving. So Keep It Moving is technically the first on Step the Rhythm. I love the way it tells you exactly what to expect from Turnstile, or at least where they're going to start. And did we just cross NTP? No, we're close though. Very close. All right, Randy?
Let's go with Can't Get Away.
Nope.
Yes.
All right,
Wow.
There's a 2.
All right. Well then.
Control F. Can't No, get. There it is. Time and space. All right, John.
Justin, you mentioned it. I'll throw it out there. How about 7?
No, unfortunately, I do not have 7.
I do though.
Hey. Boom and boom.
I almost took it there, but I feared that because Justin didn't have it. It was just going to go to the pile, and I was going to be embarrassed by it. But yep,
Never be embarrassed
Never.
by your picks.
Yes, never. All right. We're out of NTP, though. I think we're officially into cut territory, too. Yep. 5 and 6. Yep. Okay, back to me, huh? Shoot. Where do I go? How about Move Through Me?
I guess I don't have that. No,
I do.
Hey.
that was one of the EP ones, right? That made yeah, that came really close. I took another one from like one of those 2 last ones that was on our list. Yeah, that was close.
All right. Randy?
I just want to see if we can get 7, so I'm gonna waste one of the very few last glow on that I have. Blackout.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
There it is.
There we go. Nobody gets the final say.
Yeah.
Fight it out.
Blackout in the middle.
There may not even be a final say if we have more than 10 on the list.
Yeah, it might just be cuts.
Final cut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. Oh, 7. Wow. All right. I should have went with 7. All right. John. Oh wait, hold on. What am I doing? I have a chance to play more Turnstile, and I'm not doing it. Unacceptable, Justin.
Well, you sang like a second or so of it, so at least you have that. And everybody tunes in for your voice, right?
Sort of, I guess.
Literally, since you're the host of this show.
Yeah. Man, I'm looking at this, all these songs on Turnstile or on Glow On. I'm like, oh, I wish I had you still. I wish I had you. All right, John.
All right, let's get a little bit weird. I don't think you guys are going to have this one, but maybe you'll surprise me. How about Alien Love Call?
I thought about it. I
Me
got
too.
really close to putting it in, but I did not, unfortunately.
No, same. I don't either.
I had to throw some R&B in there.
Yeah. Alien Love Call's great, though.
I saw a 311 in that too, like I guess like Amber or something like that, where it's a little more like yeah.
All right, back to me. I'll go back to Step to Rhythm. How about that? Canned Heat.
No.
No.
Oh.
Hey, someone else got one in the trash. How about that?
No, hitting the bin. All right, Randy?
I refuse. That's not going to happen. Gravity.
Yeah, man.
Nope.
Justin, you and I are getting along with this one.
I know, right? Let me find it here. Let's see. There's Randy and Justin. There we go. All right, John?
Let's go way back. New Rules.
I got some rules to follow. No. I don't have that one either. NEWRUL. There it is. Okay. Man, I mean, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I only have 7 left. I mean, at this point, do you guys just want to play? Keep playing? Or
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I still got 7.
That's why we're here.
All right. How about Lost Another Piece of My World?
Didn't have that one, no.
That was number 21.
Oh. All right. All right. Randy.
I'm typing because this is a long. a long title, so I needed to take a second and type, which I have my mic in front of my keyboard, so that's Death Grip.
No.
No.
Oh.
Now I'm in the pile for the first time. Oh,
I
jumping
mean,
in the pile leaves.
Still, that's this has been quite the run, fellas. All right,
Yeah.
John.
Time plus space.
It made my pass, but it did not make the list.
Same.
Surprising.
Why is it not showing up on my list? Oh, that's why. Just keep scrolling, dude, and you'll find it. All right. How about drop?
No.
No.
Now I'm wishing I would have laid off a little bit on the equal representation.
I think I'm in trouble, you guys. I think I picked a song twice, and I just have to double check the list. Uh-oh. Was that really 19? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So what the hell did I not write? Or did I just not? Sorry, I'm taking up valuable time here. No, I'm good. I was just in it. It was just at 21, and I thought that I added it because I thought that was 20, but I had it on there twice. Never mind. I only have, I think, 5 left now.
All right, you're up.
Like a rock, like a planet, it's just generator.
That must have been like 21 or something.
You just say no.
Yeah, that must have been 21 because it's not there, and I thought it was.
I got it. Not for the Bad Religion reference, just on its own merits.
I'll take it.
All right. John?
Underwater Boy.
Oh, I hate you. But I love you.
I knew that was a popular song of theirs. I couldn't get into it.
I'll tell you what. When I mentioned there was a song I took off the list because I love Underwater Boy live. It sounds killer live. It just didn't translate as well on the album for me. But I'm so glad that it got brought up because that song makes.
Is that really going in the trash though? Ooh,
unfortunately,
you guys are gonna have some explaining to do.
I just
These
did.
People are gonna be showing up with pitchforks.
Well, I won't tell them my new address. I'll tell them my old one.
All right. What do I got left? 1, 2, 3, 4, I think. Yeah. How about Real Thing?
That was the one I put on my list twice. So yeah, I really have that. It's a real thing.
You really have it.
I do not.
Okay.
I thought that could have been close.
Also, to be fair, I think there's 2 versions of Real Thing as well. Yeah, there's one on Share of You as well. All right. Randy?
Well, I think I'm down to 3 left. Do you have any glow on left, Justin, or no?
Unfortunately, no.
No. Well, let's see if I can meet John here. How about Fly Again?
Nope, not one of mine.
Oh, okay. See, I think that feels weird to be in the pile, but
yeah, couldn't take them all.
Yep. That's the I'm looking at some of these ones that haven't gotten played yet. I'm like, oh my God, I could see that. I could see that going in. I could see that going in. All right, John?
All right, I do have 3 from Glow On left, so we're going to talk about it in a minute. But I'm going to go to the other one. Try to meet you guys. Maybe how about Stress?
Mm.
It came really close. I actually cut it for something else. It was on my list initially,
Yeah,
but
I
I
can't
thought
save
something
you.
else was stronger.
I can't save you. All right. I think maybe we are at the dump out portion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we have another 3 left in us. So,
Yeah. All right. So let me scroll up here. Which ones haven't I did Canned Heat, right? How about Better Way?
no.
Nope.
Okay. I did drop. Lost another piece of my mind. I already did. How about The Dream?
No. Both those songs
Nope.
were pretty close, though, I think.
And then, okay, 2 left. Bring It Back.
Nope, that made the pass, but it did not make further.
Nope.
And last but not least, Pressure to Succeed.
Again, another one that came really close, but nope.
Nope.
All right. So the chances at unanimous are officially over. What did we do? 7? Yeah, so none of us won. I should have went with 7. I should have went with my gut. Okay. All right. Randy, dump out.
Don, you have nothing left that's not off Glow On.
Correct.
These are dumps, pushing me away and fuck me blind. I thought you would have fuck me blind, Justin.
I don't know. Can't have them
It's
all,
from
man.
the title itself.
Can't have them all.
That's how you know you really like a band, when you're not picking based off of the song title.
That's true. All right. Let's talk about these Glow On songs, John.
All right, you guys ready to
Yes.
get real sad about this?
Mm-hmm.
Humanoid, Shake It Up.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yep. Endless.
Uh-huh.
That came
And
really close.
And the fucking killer, Lonely Desires, which I love, and you guys are dumb.
I loved it too.
Yeah,
And
so
I
good.
really should have picked more from that record, but
You know what's
If I had final say, Lonely Desires would have been going on.
You know what's wild is like No Surprise didn't come up, Don't Play didn't come up, like,
Yeah.
and those definitely deserve to be in the conversation somewhere. But I mean, we did well though, gents. Like I feel like we're off to a good start here. We got all the bangers. TLC, Come Back for More, Mystery, Blue by You, Big Smile, Phased Out, and Blackout. That in and of itself,
strong.
that is super duper strong. We have 9 songs that we need to trim down to 3. So what do we got here? Moon, Holiday, Keep It Moving. I really got to make a case for Holiday. Keep It Moving, 7, Can't Get Away, Move Through Me, Gravity, Generator, and Real Thing. Is there one that I said, Randy, that you're like, man, I can't believe we didn't get that one?
I really want to get Moon in, but I think we should get Holiday into the last one. Like, if you, Justin, if you really want to get Holiday in, and I really want to get Moon in, then John, whatever you're picking the last one, is that something we can all agree on?
I'm down.
All right, so let's do that then. So Moon for Randy, Holiday for Justin, and which one for John?
Between 2, but I think I got to go with Can't Get Away.
All righty.
It's a good one.
Yep. They
So
all are.
we all had a final say of some sort, right?
Yeah.
This is
Kind
It
of.
was between that and Move Through Me, but I think Can't Get Away, I think is better.
Yeah.
At this point, I want to bring this up because I matched like 13 songs out of Joe's 20 that he put up. And before we do the thing, I just joined Turnstile's Discord, and I asked them what should be considered essential. Let's see, what do we got here? 7 / Keep It Moving, Holiday, Blackout, and Gravity. So we got 2 of them. Not bad.
Okay.
And all of them were in the conversation at least.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So we did pretty good there, according to the Turnstile Discord. Now, here's our 10 here. TLC, Come Back for More, Mystery, Blue by You, Big Smile, Phased Out, Blackout, Moon, Holiday, Can't Get Away. Randy, if I list those 10 and ask you which one's the one, which one are you going to say?
Ooh.
It's tough.
This is really tough because it's like, okay, what piece of Turnstile do you want to send somebody? My gut when this whole thing started, because maybe I just had an attachment to this song, was Come Back for More, because you had all of those elements that I thought were the ingredients that made up Turnstile, like the whole beginning to that song, and then the drums are really heavy in that. Like, I think that sounds so much like Turnstile, but also I think that you have to give consideration to something from Glow On to be the one. And out of TLC, Mystery, Blackout, Holiday,
those are 4
what's
bangers.
the one you take out of that? Like, maybe Mystery, but like Blackout could be it too. Like, I could be convinced. I think like I might be the one that everybody else has to convince on that. I would like to Come Back for More into the hat, but I think Mystery and Blackout are 2 really good options too.
What do you think, John?
Well, there's only one song that has the name of the band in it for me. It's TLC.
To me, it's hands down either TLC or Holiday. Like I could be swayed if somebody like really, really wanted Mystery or Blackout, but to me, it's TLC, it's Holiday, 1A. And I would accept either. TLC is so on point, and it has the band name in it, and it's fun, and it rips. I don't, like I said.
Yeah, I think it's the perfect introduction to what they do. I think
a lot of love to Blue by You too. I think that was like, if I numbered, that would be like either 1, 2, or 3. Probably like 2 or 1 even.
Also, we gotta. Well, I was gonna say we need to consider Fredo in this, but no, we don't.
no.
Why? He was part of this?
Well,
since when?
For the best of episode, but.
Oh no! Who cares? If he doesn't want to take it in the best of, then fine. Take something else.
Yeah, but there might be 3 other people who might be on this panel. So
I know, but look, me, I don't.
But Fredo can surprise you every once in a while.
He picked the Aquabats that one year.
Yeah.
I would not pick a song.
No.
To basically appease Fredo, right?
Yeah.
I'm. If you guys want to put TLC in, that's cool.
Let's do it. It's TLC because we just need a little TLC. That's all we really need when you think about it. Let's get that going.
Don't go chasing turnstiles.
TLC. Come Back for More. Mystery. Blue by You. Big Smile. Phased Out. Blackout. Moon. Holiday. Can't Get Away rounds out our 10. Let's all get a little TLC. Yum. Yes. That makes me so happy. This is like a rare occasion where like doing the work on the band was just like a bonus. Like it's rare that like I got to get into the band before the show got to them, and then I got to fall even more in love with them because I did the show. So all right, we have done it. If by some chance you have not, and I guess it's quite possible you hadn't heard of Turnstile. I keep wanting to say TLC. If you haven't heard of Turnstile, you have now, and you love them now because we did the work. There you go. Check out that playlist. And you're listening to this show wherever you're doing so. Please hit subscribe. If you're doing it on Spotify, 5 stars would be super awesome. If you're doing it on Apple Podcasts, 5 stars and a comment would be also super awesome. Sharing from wherever you're listening would be super helpful. If you're listening on legionofstupid.com, if you want to listen to John episodes, click his name. If you want to listen to Randy episodes, click his name. I'm on all of them, so you can't avoid that. Good luck. If you want to play, same place. Just go up top, click shows, click deprogrammed. Scroll a little halfway down. There's a little sign-up sheet. Tell me what band you want to talk about. Come talk about it. It's that simple. If we haven't talked about it yet, I'll try to get you up fast. When new voices come in, I try to get them in as fast as possible. Also, patreon.com/ohijustin is a great place to go if you would like to pledge some dinero. I understand not everybody has dinero, but if you've got $1 a month, it gets you this show before the rest of the world. It gets you the conversation we're about to have after the fact, immediately after we're done with it, and a couple other audio things that I send out there every so often. Also gives you access to certain channels in our Discord, the Legion of Stupid Discord, which is a place you can come join, and we count, which is awesome. I'm saying. Also replace you with dudes. That happens in there. Lots of stuff happens in the Legion of Stupid Discord. Come play with us. It's fun times. Also, there's a music bot boy, and you can play with the music bot boy. He's fun. What else? I already said we're a podcast, but honestly, the best way to help the show is by telling somebody that you listen to the show. Hey, I listen to Deprogrammed, and you can too. I would appreciate that more than words could ever explain. So, with that, Turnstile, learn them and love them, people. We'll see you next week. Bye.